Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we are here at the beautiful, beautiful Michigan International Speedway, and I mean, just a home away from home for me and my co-commentator Jimmy Covert. As this is just one of the two tracks that it holds near and dear to our hearts. It always puts on a great show out here, whether it's here in Michigan or at the Auto Club Speedway. These 2 Mile D ovals are they're so wide. There's about 6-7 different lanes you can take through the corners, and more often than not, we see just about every lane getting taken, and love it. It puts on some great racing. It gives drivers plenty of room to maneuver around, make the passes if they're faster, utilize different tire strategies, fuel strategies, anything and everything. As I'm definitely looking forward to tonight. This is definitely one that I had circled on the calendar. Carl and we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we're back home here, buddy.
Yeah, Michigan. I mean, nothing like a Michigan race. Nothing like these, like you said, these 2 mile tracks. It's just something about them. Like you said, the multiple lanes. You can't block a whole track either. So obviously, it's just about the drivers setting each other up and saving them tires just a little bit for maybe that move you need to make. We have 85 laps on tap here for tonight, so it's going to be a little while out there. It's going to be a nice long race. We'll see what these drivers can do as they are out there right now getting their qualifying in.
Yeah, pretty good size field out here, as we're going to have 20 plus once again, and actually even getting close to the 30 mark here. 28 drivers in the session right now, putting in their qualifying times. Michigan, not necessarily. I mean, it's not a super speedway. It's not one where qualifying really doesn't matter. But again, there's plenty of room out there. There's plenty of ways to get past. If you have a mistake during qualifying, if you just don't feel like qualifying, whatever the case is, you can start from further back in the field and work your way up through here. And we've seen a lot of races go plenty of green flag laps to give you that chance to move up through there. And yeah, even if it doesn't, there's always the chance of differing strategies out there. I mean, these drivers here for the race do have their typical 2 fast repairs, but also 4 sets of tires in the pits. And for 85 laps, that's plenty of tires. But if it ends up being, a few cautions early on here, be real interesting to see how these drivers decide to take their tires for the entirety of the race. But it's been a fun season so far with the Hold Your Brakes Academy, presented by pinupsforvets.com. Want to send a shout out and a thank you to Joseph for his help here and getting us involved here with HYBA by sponsoring the series here and bringing CRN on board. So definitely want to give him his due, and certainly need to do it because tonight is his night, and we'll bring him in right now. Driver of the 217, that is going to be Joe Thomas. And Joe, first of all, we just got done thanking you for being the sponsor here for the series, but not just that, you're the sponsor here of tonight's race, and definitely got to thank you for picking the right track out here. We're here in Michigan, we love it.
Yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I chose this track as well as my donations, the $20 to the winner, $20 towards the championships at a 2.0 mile track for the 20th year anniversary of Pinups for Vets. So so it all kind of worked out.
Yeah, and we certainly we appreciate both ends of it. I mean, it's really cool when somebody steps up for both the series sponsorship, but also it's pretty cool what you guys do here with sponsoring each of these races. We've done it before in Core a few times, and it's pretty cool. It gives everyone a chance for here to pick your track, pick your poison here, and this is a good one. I mean, we've said it so many times that Michigan just usually puts on good races. Drivers tend to kind of figure out a line that they enjoy. There's about 16 different lines you can run in these corners, but is there one line over another that you particularly are looking forward to? Do you like the low line, the middle line, the high line, anything in particular?
Me personally, it is the sister track to the now defunct Auto Club, not defunct on iRacing, but in real life, sadly. And I typically run it the same as I do Auto Club, running the bottom line, saving tires, saving fuel, and hoping that the cautions work out in my favor. And it's looking at this point like I'll need my tires to survive because I'm starting at the back of the pack.
Well, it's certainly plenty of time. You guys got 85 laps out there to get this thing done. But we will we'll let you get ready, strap in the car, and get ready to see what you can do back there from 23rd, moving your way up through the field. I'm sure you'll get that 218 up there one way or another. But before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
As always, pinusforvets.com, and then also Operation Motorsport, who I ran the 24 at Spa with. Got in with a good group of guys, and we finished 14th in our split. So it was a pretty good race.
Well, that's congratulations to you guys, and hopefully we can say congratulations to you at the end of this race. If we get any kind of cautions, we'll try and bring you up here, pick your brain a little bit, see how the race is going for you if we get a chance. But either way, good luck out there, and we'll see if we talk to you in the top 3.
All right, have a good one.
You too, buddy. That is the driver of the 218, Joe Thomas. As Jimmy, we're getting ready to go. We got our 28 cars lined up for the start. Why don't you give us that rundown?
A quick rundown of tonight's drivers. 28 drivers on the field, like you said, and most of them getting qualifying times in. But on the pole here tonight is going to be Rob Higgs Jr. in the number 14. Great number, with Joshua King. So that would be your very first row. Jeremy Gill and Timothy Presley will make up a row at number 4. So just kind of watch out for Jeremy Gill. There's kids for running this car tonight. We'll see if he can put them to work and give them some more throttle. NP number 5 will be Sean McLean with Robert Altman sitting in there, and P number 6. P number 7, Matt Ulmer, and P number 8 be Steve Harrison. P number 9, Tiffany Ellis with in 10th being Bryson Anderson. George Ledesma being in 11th. Drafty Beef being back there in 12th. See them out there running tonight for practice, looking pretty good. So I'm sure we'll see the number 2 up front sometime here tonight. Aaron Genske will take position number 13 with Dylan Jacobs in number 14. Chris Alley and number 15, Andrew Jones in 16th. Thomas Osborne in 17th, and Robert White will be in 18th place. We still have a few other cars on the docket here. So P number 19 will be Shane King in the number 60, Matt Bryant in 20th, and Daniel Lampier back there in 21st. 22nd will be Quinn McLean. Joe Thomas, as he said, he's going to be starting in the back tonight. Well, towards the back anyways. And P number 23 in the number 218. Tristan Miner in P number 24. Ryan Perrone in 25th. James Smith, Kelly Akron, and Don King. So the last 3 drivers not getting times in tonight, while they're pushing it a little hard. Also give a shout out to some of the other people out there in the in attendance. Obviously, Robbie Miner, wishing he was out here tonight racing with the fellas, or I should say the drivers. And then definitely looking to go green. Oh, we're green. I talk too much.
You're still jabber-jawing away. We are Green Flag Racing here, buddy. As Rob Higgs, your pole sitter here tonight, is off and running, taking the lead down the backstretch. Jeremy Gill moved himself into 2nd place. And then he got Joshua King in 3rd, Timothy Presley in 4th, Matt Ulmer in 5th on the start. But good start from the drivers here. And you already see a couple different lines. I was going to say working out, maybe not so much working out there for Timothy Presley, getting those cold tires up to temp, and we are going to have a bit of a wreck on the front stretch here, as a few cars still getting involved, getting wrapped around here. And we'll go back and take a look and see what has brought this one out.
Big one here on lap number 1, and it's already started here, and we have to go back just a little bit farther and kind of see what happens here. I see he was at the 2. Oh, well, 1 SDK is not the best, and that looks like a Drafty Beef there. But we'll slow it down here, and there's already contact there with the blue car, number 64, going around into the 15, bumps the 2, and the 5 gets entangled. 57 getting there, the 60, oops, and then backwards. So few drivers all over the place here. 5 going for a ride, 57. So a lot of drivers getting wrapped up here in this one here early. 51 getting tagged by the 50 hard right there at the start finish line. So yeah, tough break here for lap number 1, Carl. I think everybody's as anxious to get out on the track as we are, but we're going to see some come down in the pits here Now the thing about here, I know they have a fast repair, so it's whether they're gonna use it or take the time to see how much damage is on their car, and because it's not a super short track, so you won't go a lap down during a caution.
Yeah, definitely some cars limping back into the pits. Maybe there was one or two that can just get some fresh tape on it and send them back out there. But there's definitely a few. I seen crab walking. I seen some major damage on some of the cars. They're going to have to use one of those two fast repairs already here on lap number 1, and it's a track just like any other. It doesn't matter what track you're on. You got to get these tires warmed up. It may take 2-3 laps to get them fully up to its temperature and up to pressure to get all the grip that you want and need out there. You seen what happened right there coming out of turn number 3 and 4 there for Timothy Presley. Definitely getting that one a little bit sideways. But it looked like a little bit of a mix-up on the front stretch. Maybe 54 of Chris Alley thinking he was clear at the top and just getting tangled up. But either way, we'll get, looks like most of them back out there. Looks like maybe James Smith and Don King won't be taking the green flag at all here tonight. So we're down to 26 drivers. 2 of them in the pits right now. Steve Harrison looked like Andrew Jones was trying to make it back to pit lane, but ended up towing. So not sure if he's going to be done for the night, but certainly the 51 still in there as well. So 24 cars out there. Looks like maybe 24 cars still on the lead lap as Thomas Osborne trying to catch back up to the back of the field. We should be getting the 1 to go this time by.
The 1 to go here at Michigan. It takes a little bit of time, as typical laps around here at Michigan is right around that. Was it 40? I think it's 40. 40 or 50 seconds. So still just under a minute to get around here, but it's a nice sized track. And one thing that does help around here, obviously, you want to be able to utilize the draft. It's important here, but it's not like detrimental. I've seen drivers, if they're good enough, drive away by themselves without a pack. So it's not quite pack racing, but the draft can help save fuel and help the drivers decide what they want to do for pit stops, whether it's how they want to execute their strategies. But right now, mostly everybody is staying out, with the exception of a few, obviously, and towards the back. And that would be Jacobs, Alley, Perrone, Osborne, and Harrison and Jones, all coming down in the pits. And right now, currently, your leader is still going to be the number 14 of Robbie Higgs, with Jeremy Gill moving up a spot, Joshua King in P number 3, and Matt Ulmer in 4th. Sean McLean for your top 5.
Pace car lights are out. We're going to go green at this time by, as it looks like one trying to get shuffled back into the correct area for Timothy Presley, but he's back up there. The pace car is down and into pit lane. It's going to be in control here by Rob Higgs as we head to the Geico restart zone. And we are back to racing here at Michigan. Hopefully these drivers know now it's going to take a little bit to get these tires up and nice and comfy before they can really start going at it. But tires are something you definitely need to be concerned about as well. I mean, like Jimmy said, you can stretch out a lead as a leader here. You can really take these corners and really attack and charge these corners hard and get some good speed into and out of the corners. But you have to be wary with those tires because you can wear them very quickly, especially that right front, as see some of the cars dancing around here a little bit, and you're going to see that on these colder tires. Any little movement is going to want to break that car loose or get it tight. But already up 7 spots are in race reporter and pre-race reporter Joe Thomas in the 218, now moving up an 8th spot as he is working his way through the field up into 15th. But biggest mover right now is going to be the 151 of Daniel Lamphere up into 11th, almost cracking the top 10 after starting back in 21st.
Yeah, you see the mellow yellow, and it's a little different, unique, not the traditional mellow yellow paint scheme, traditional colors, but definitely one to stick out here tonight for Daniel. So obviously doing a good job so far, going up 10 spots. One of the other drivers we should be watching, some of the ones that started in the back, like Kelly Akron here, currently up 5 spots in P number 21. So doing a good job trying to get that Toyota up towards the front. Front hasn't changed, as first is Rob Higgs, second is Joshua Viper King, and Jeremy Gill in P number 3.
A little better start this time from the field as they, for the most part, will spread out single file here, and we'll get the track back up and show you how quickly those Skittles will separate, as well as it may not take too long. The draft, as Jimmy said, it can be nice here. It can certainly be nice to have the draft and help you down these straightaways, but it can get a little hairy and sketchy in some of these corners as well, because you will have some of the the arrow push and the washout from following a car a little bit too close going into the corners. So a lot of times you'll see if a car is behind another one, they'll take a completely different line towards the top side, or they'll try and get at least half of that car down below the car in front of them, so they can get a little bit of downforce on that front end and help them turn through the corner.
Yeah, everybody, obviously with the track being so large, and you're always looking for that advantage. And somebody that I'm kind of watching here, because they're taking a unique line that not many other drivers are, is the one of Timothy Presley. We know the high line can work, and it will work, as he's slowing up there for the 41, gotten away, but looking to go 3 wide down turn number 1. As the 115 kind of goes to the outside, comes down to the middle lane, but the one doing an excellent job using the most outer part of the track. Might not be great for fuel mileage, but he's been moving that number 1 forward.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You can go down to the bottom line and maybe a little bit faster, burn off a little bit less fuel, but you're going to burn off a little bit more tire. Or you can go to the top line, certainly going to burn a little bit more fuel, but you could be just as fast, and should be saving a little bit of tire up there as well, because you're not going to be turning so hard through the corners. But right now it is the 14 leading the way out front. Rob Higgs Jr. from the pole is still leading this race, but Jeremy Gill right behind him, trying to get underneath him, or maybe just trying to hang out here a little bit. Again, 85 laps here, plenty of time, and maybe this Ford just wants to just settle in here, save some tires, save some fuel. But you see, even right behind the 14 here, he's just getting about a half a car down below, like I said, to try and get a little bit of air on that front end to help push that car down so it can rotate through the corners. If you get straight in line behind the car in front, you're not going to get any air, and it's just going to want to push, or you're going to have to slow down a little bit more as 14 blinks out there a little bit, but looks like he's back. And they head into turn number 1. Looked like Gill got in the corner or end of the wall just a little bit, but we are back out here on the backstretch now. This is, again, it's a big, beautiful track here, and it's so wide. You kind of get lost. Like if you're looking, from one of the lower cams there on the front, you get on this backstretch here, and I mean, you can land a cargo plane on this backstretch. It's just so wide.
It is definitely a very wide track. I have to say, almost as wide as Talladega.
So far, so good out there for the drivers, and it does look like we did have James Smith in there. Looks like actually, yeah, he is still out there, but a few laps down back there in 27th. We got 24 cars on the lead lap. Andrew Jones and Steve Harrison both a lap down, and then you got James Smith there in the back. Looks like Don King not out there tonight, but again, it's all being led by Rob Higgs at the front, Jeremy Gill, Joshua King, Matt Ulmer, and Tiffany Ellis for your top 5. Then Shane McLean, Drafty Beef, Timothy Presley, Robert Altman, and Daniel Lamphere for your top 10. I did see a car dropping through the field. Not sure what's happening with the 44, Jorge Ledesma, but I think he was the one that was dropping down through the field here a little bit. Less, it was just shuffling around, and it made it seem like it was him. But looks like everybody is still up there and running on the track, and much better here after the quick little incident on lap number 1.
Like the Viper trying to make a move here on the 4, getting down to underneath of Gill, trying to make things happen as they cross the start-finish line. Now heading down turn number 1. So here's that where drivers can use multiple lines. Gill blinking out just a little bit there as they hit mid-corner, but doesn't affect the 17's thought process as he's committed down to that inside, but now falls behind the Ford and draft down the backstretch. You see Tiffany Ellis back in the 87 here with a really nice looking Guns N' Roses paint scheme on that thing. getting around here tonight, sitting up in P number 4, up 5 spots. Seen Tiffany Ellis have some success in a few races, but not like the end results, obviously. It's definitely battling throughout the season so far, trying to get up here on the podium. Come talk to us up here in the booth and tell us all about how your night went. So right now, the people that are doing that are going to be Rob Higgs, Jeremy Gill, and Joshua King trying to get back up here. So we got a whole pack of drivers, though, Carl, that got about 60 laps. Like that's 70 laps, to figure this thing out.
So far, so good, as that little battle gave Rob Hicks a chance to stretch out there a little bit. It got out to about 3/4 of a second lead while they were doing a little bit of battling, but now that it's settled down a little bit for the time being, maybe, as Joshua King's still doing a little bit of battling or trying to figure out a way to get in a second. They both figured out a way not to fall behind Rob Higgs as well, as you're starting to reel him back in. It's now down to 0.3 of a second, but side by side, possibly again here, as Joshua King now looking to the high side here. You've seen how much Jeremy Gill utilize that top line to defend, as they're going back and forth here, all the while reeling in your leader Rob Higgs as they come across the line. It was like 0.2 of a second separating the top two, and I'm wondering if Gill realizes now that, you know what, if I'm gonna have to battle for a position here with Joshua King, why not do it for a battle for first, as they reel back into 14. A big moment there for the 4 coming off the corner.
A little too much throttle coming out of that corner, and holds on to it very nicely as they make their way down the backstretch there. So yeah, you got to be careful coming out of turn number 2. It has a tendency, the car, to push to the wall, and when you're trying to correct it, you can get that rear end loose like that. So nice save by the 4 of Jeremy Gill, moving up to P number 2, or holding on to P number 2. Rob Higgs continues to hold the lead. Joshua King trying to get around the 4, and that, like you said, now they're right on that back bumper of the 14. And Carl, they're right out that window envelope where tires start to go away. Like if you just run them too hard, they become too hot. The car becomes very pushy, and you're trying to catch a car, you're backing up corners to get it to rotate. So you start slowing down pretty big here, and this is that window, or depending on how you've been driving the car. So you might see somebody that's been maybe laying back just a little bit start working their way through, as we're on a nice green flag run here on lap 19 of 85.
Yeah, good job by these drivers. Not sure how long they can make it on fuel, so we'll see how this thing goes, but I mean, typically, I would think we're probably around lap 20 to 25 for the first stint of fuel. We usually see a 2 or 3 stop race when we come to Michigan, unless there's a lot more fuel in the cars, or a lot less for that matter. But these drivers out here, they do have 75% fuel in here, so maybe a little bit longer run than we're typically used to seeing. We'll see how everything plays out, but right now it's been lean and green, and these drivers have been burning off plenty of fuel out there, and they're all trying to catch that 14 of Rob Higgs. It is down to less than 1/10 of a second at the front, as now Higgs stretched out a little bit in the corner. But battle back here, the 218 of Joe Thomas up at the top, losing a spot there to the 19 of Kelly Akron, and we will see some of these drivers more times than one this week, as we're going to have the CRN Cup on Saturday night. And just a refresher for those that don't know, it is a opportunity for all the leagues that CRN covers to get teams together and compete against each other and have a little bit of fun. We'll have an Xfinity race at Charlotte, followed by a GT3 race at the Charlotte Roval, and the teams will compete, but also, it's a chance to just, kind of hang back, have a little fun. There's no points on the line, but there's a little bit of cash on the line, as there's a nice prize pool that is already got some good funds in there, and could even have more before the races kick off, and something for the drivers to drive for. But it's also a chance for all the league owners to kind of, intermingle and, discuss different things, different strategies, or even, recruit a little bit across the leagues. And, some drivers that, for instance, run here in the Hold Your Brakes Academy, maybe if they're looking for something to do on Sunday nights, they can look at, 191, or if they're looking maybe to get into a road league, GT3 league, and they're kind of newer to GT3 racing, they can maybe hop over into CSRL on Wednesday nights, or the Core GT on Thursday nights. So it's a chance for kind of some free advertising and free recruiting opportunities. As a little bit of an incident there from, I'm not sure who that was. I think it was the 5 down on the bottom of Dylan Jacobs. It was the 5 or the 7 on the backstretch there. That definitely wasn't the 5, so it might have been the 7. It looked like it was a little low. Not sure if he had a moment on the backstretch for Bryson Anderson. Definitely bringing that 7 into pit lane. I didn't see anything on SDK showing what might have happened, but certainly seemed like there was some kind of moment for the 7. Either way, we are still green here, and it's still Rob Higgs at the front. A battle once again for second place. I thought Joshua King finally had the pass done and dusted, but back is Jeremy Gills. They both get loose through the corner. Gills still fighting it. Great saves by the 4. He's going to lose some ground, and Tiffany Ellis going to close in here a little bit as well. But Joshua King now, you can finally say he's officially moved himself in his second, and he's got his eyes set on Higgs at the front.
Yeah, I was giving Gil, some I was heckling him a little bit over the week, and he's heckling back. So we're just giving him some much wanted broadcaster coverage here to make sure that we catch every single slip up that he does here tonight, as much as I can, anyways.
He is, as we discussed, he is the bad boy of Hold Your Brakes Academy here.
He's the bad boy, yeah.
we gotta keep an eye on him for sure. But one thing we do want to keep an eye on as well is the point standings that we didn't get to discuss before the race here tonight, but as it stands coming into the race, it is Drafty Beef at the top of the boards now by a huge margin of 1 point. 1 point over Andrew Jones in second, 3 points over Jeremy Gill in third, 5 points over Joshua King in fourth. So it's just a little close for the top 4 here. And then he got 17 points to Matt Ulmer in fifth. Zach White, Tiffany Ellis, Timothy Presley, Shane King, and Robert Altman for your top 10. But yeah, it's been quite an interesting season so far. One thing too, we have yet to see a repeat winner, as we had Drafty Beef win with Jeremy Gill, Matt Ulmer, and Timothy Presley taking down wins so far this season. Nobody has been able to repeat. Joshua King now at the front of the field, as looks like a few cars getting into the wall this time through, and maybe a little broadcaster's curse for putting them on. But either way, it's been a nice little run for these drivers, as we're already through 25 laps of this race.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers having some issues. I've been watching a few of them kind of coming out of the corners, and too much throttle. You're not slowing down enough, or whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm not in the car to really kind of guess, but you can see them come out. Just obviously, just the car getting tight, going up to the wall, and not being able to keep it off it. And eventually over time, it's going to hurt the car. And I've seen a little bit of damage there on the 20. I think it was a 22. Had some front right damage. Was it the 22? No. It's a 41. So I take that back. That was Matt Bryant. Had some front damage there on the car. You can see the tire kind of exposed there off the front right. So definitely a few drivers meeting the wall here, getting the Michigan stripe. You might not be quite the Darlington stripe, but you get yourself a good stripe here in Michigan as well. The wall is
he's pushing pretty hard out there, and he definitely pushed right out to the wall. It looks like we do have our first taker into pit lane. Aaron Genske comes in But at the front, Joshua King briefly had the lead, but Rob Higgs battling back here, trying to regain the lead into turn number 3. Higgs is going to have that high side. It seems like it's a good defensive line for these drivers, but he's having to fight that thing through the corner. A great job saving it, but he's going to lose a little momentum coming off the corner, off that high side. Joshua King on the inside trying to get it done here, with still Higgs at the line. So that low line, it may be a little bit faster, especially entering the corner, but through the corner and off the corner, that middle to high line is definitely prevailing, as you see the 4 of Jeremy Gill trying to get up here in this mix once again. You're riding on board here with Tiffany Ellis, just kind of hanging back here, the lone Canadian in the field, looking to just, maybe watch a little bit and see what these drivers are deciding to do. As it seems like they're just shifting back and forth up here. Now Gill back into second place, but man, I'll be damned if he's had a nice clean turn number 3 in quite some time. He's definitely wrestling that thing off the corner.
You just know that obviously you're trying to get out here and get himself a good finish after, last week wasn't the greatest for Gill, but finds himself, wanting to be in the continuing battle for the points championship here at Hold Your Brakes Academy. So if he needs to do that, he needs to be up front, and he's just doing everything he can in his power to keep that car, keep it where it's at, and hopefully get around the number 14. But Rob Higgs won't let the lead go, and right now we're on lap 30 of 85, Carl.
Yeah, Rob Higgs, Jeremy Gill, Joshua King, Tiffany Ellis, Matt Ulmer for your top 5. Drafty Beef, Sean McLean, Timothy Presley, Robert Altman, and Jorge Ledesma Jr. for your top 10. Biggest movers of the race, it is still Daniel Lamphere, as we checked in with him earlier. He is still up 10 spots in 11th, hasn't been able to crack that top 10 just yet. A couple of the other big movers towards the back of the pack in 16th and now 18th. You got the 22 of Tristan Miner. Certainly got some fans out there for the 22, currently up 8 spots after starting back there in 24th. And then Ryan Perone Sr. in 17th, also up 8 spots after starting in 25th. So some good early moves here. Certainly, I'm sure the early incident that involved a few cars may have helped out as well. But we got a pit from the top 10 here, as Timothy Presley going to bring that number 1 down pit lane.
Yeah, bring it down in, obviously get things started here. Now it's all about getting the car in, getting it, make your pit stop, and then get back out there, quick, efficiently, and hopefully you don't go a lap down. You're going to be faster when you come out with those new tires, as long as they're taking tires. But right now, just kind of watching the leader. What are they going to do? What are the rest of the leaders going to do here, as they've been leading the way so far here tonight? Like I said, completing lap number 32, starting lap number 33, and it's a pretty close battle from first to third, with fourth kind of hanging on there, kind of being in that catbird seat.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, pit time here at Michigan, as we've seen quite a few others now coming to the pits. Daniel Lamphere, Dylan Jacobs, Robert White, Matt Bryant, Quinn McLean, all ducking down into the pits. Thomas Osborne, one of the few that pit on lap number 2 under that caution, and he's got the 57 now back up into 12, so he'll be able to go a little bit further. But you're seeing some of your top drivers there coming down into the pits: Jeremy Gill, Rob Higgs, Joshua King, Tiffany Ellis, Matt Ulmer, Drafty Beef, Sean McLean. This could be the time where everybody towards the front is coming in. Robert Altman down into pit lane. We'll see if that looks like Ledesma, Shane King coming down pit lane as well. Thomas Osborne, though, as I just got done mentioning, he pit on lap number 2, so he's got a little bit extra in the tank. He's going to stay out there for another lap. Looks like the 218, Joe Thomas, he was kind of hanging back there through that first run. Maybe has a little bit extra fuel in the 218 as well. He's going to stay out for another lap as well. So right around 30 to 35 is, it looks like, what we're going to have for our pit strategy here tonight. And it's going to mean, regardless of what happens here, they're going to need to make one more pit stop before this thing is over. We'll see if Thomas Osborne decides to take it around for one more lap, or it looks like he's going to bring that 57 down and in. The 218 of Joe Thomas get some crazy good gas mileage, as he did not pit. Thomas Osborne pit on lap number 2, got some fuel, And Joe Thomas has now outlasted him, so he's got an extra couple laps in the tank there, and he's not exactly running the fuel-saving line beat up there towards the wall.
No, he's not running the fuel-saving line. I think a lower line I hear at Michigan is the one where it saves tires. So I'm just kind of getting up there, just trying to keep the momentum going. Doing a fantastic job with it for the 218. Getting out there, get some lap sled, and probably will bring it in here soon. Maybe was hoping maybe for a caution to kind of be in a great position. You know, you'd be the last one to come in, get yourself some tires. But staying out there, you definitely lose a lot of time. You know, now the drivers are going to start running laps. Joe's last lap was 41:06. You can see right now the cars that have been out there, they're running 40-second laps now. All their best laps are 40 seconds.
Thank everybody out there for tuning in once again to Sierra N. As if you notice the schedule for this week, it's picked up quite a bit. Obviously, we had 191 Motorsports last night. We got the Hold Your Brakes Academy here tonight. But starting tomorrow night, the new season for the Core Xfinity Series is going to start off with a non-points race. A little fun for the drivers is going to be the Core Clash to start off the season, as it'll be an exhibition event, non-points, but it's certainly going to have a little bit of aggressiveness, I'm sure, on the line, because they want to take that first win on the season, regardless if it's for points or not. And then next week will be the start of the actual season for the points. On Wednesday night, again, we have CSRL. Thursday night, we're going to have the doubleheader of VVR and the Core GT Series. And then, as we mentioned, on Saturday, we got a doubleheader back-to-back, as we have the CRN Cup with all of the drivers that you see here on CRN all throughout the week. So plenty of racing action here. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to get notified whenever CRN is on. It might be ringing quite a bit this week.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, it just means you can watch racing almost 7 days a week here at CRN. I mean, there's a nice little window to get off work, sit down and watch your favorite driver, or just check some of the other. If you're you're out there and you're driving in one of these other leagues, then you can kind of see how everybody's doing. Like Carl was saying, if you want to get involved in some road racing, we have a few leagues that we broadcast that would be welcome to have you over there. Matter of fact, I'll even give them a shout out because they're great friends of ours, and we've been broadcasting for a while now. So CSRL is a GT series, and they have a great sponsor that creates their trophies, and they create gloves and actually shoes for sim racing. And they're going to the Sim Expo this weekend. But when they hit that 40 drivers mark, he was willing to, every time they hit over 40, to auction off a pair of shoes. So that's a good deal.
I thought, Jimmy, as we have a caution here on the track. It looks like Aaron Genske involved in this one, and you're seeing some of these cars coming out there with fresh tires. It's just like the start of the race. You gotta get them warmed up. Not sure how long Genske was out there. Looks like he's back in the pits now, so it won't tell me when he came in last time, but definitely looked like those rear tires were not warmed up, and you see him try to save it, try to correct it, and that thing just pointed straight to the wall, and really kind of Dale Senior'd it into the wall up there. Hard impact. Hopefully the driver of the 115 is okay, but that car certainly is not. You've seen that black smoke. That engine is cooked. He's going to have to tow it back to pit lane. Certainly going to go down probably at least a lap. Hopefully he's got his fast repair checked, can get back out there as quick as possible. But this will happen right after the pit cycle, and it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers will now do if they decide to come back down into pit lane. As I mean, it's coming up on lap 40 here. You're still going to have to come into the pits regardless, but if it ends up going green all the way, you're going to have to take less fuel on that last pit stop, and maybe so much less that you decide to take two tires. Maybe some different tire strategies at this race.
I mean, if anything, why not come in, top off, and grab lefts? And then maybe that thought process of 2 tires at the end or your last stop could be just right, and you can make this thing stretch out a little bit. There's a lot of thoughts that can go through your mind at this stage of the race, Carl. I mean, there's so many different strategies that could be had here at Michigan. I've seen 2 tires work. I've seen 4 tires work. I've seen fuel strategies work. So it's just a matter of what one these drivers would like to choose and use. And we know a lot of the drivers here are on the newer side, or maybe racing with some family members and getting out there and having a good time here. But this is part of the thought process of trying to win. You know, if you're not as fast as the front, Jeremy Gill, Joshua King, and Matt Ulmer are currently up there in your top 3, then changing your strategy might be the key to winning here tonight. So it could be fuel, could be tires, could be a little of both. It's just, you know, what are you going to execute? But right now we are on lap 41 of 85. Like I said, Jeremy Gill is out front over Joshua King. Matt Ulmer, Tiffany Ellis is still sitting in P number 4. Drafty Beefs in 5th. Chris Alley, Robert Altman, Sean McLean, Dylan Jacobs, Jorge Ledesma, not George, and Danielle Lamphere up there in the top 11 as well. So definitely want to apologize to Jorge, as I don't speak much other language other than English, and I'm not even good at that all the time. So
I was going to say it.
And it's okay. It's funny. I mean, people chuckle, people laugh. I mean, I even had people change their paint scheme because I couldn't pronounce their last name correctly, and I just called him Peter Parker, and he ended up changing his truck paint scheme to a Spider-Man paint scheme. So it was kind of funny. Embrace it. If it bothers you if you're a driver and it bothers you that much, please reach out to me and I will do my best to correct it. It might take me a little while, but I will do my best to correct my punctuations.
Well, it is time to get this thing back under green. We did see a few cars come down to pit lane, namely your pole sitter, the 14 of Rob Higgs, deciding to come down and top off on fuel, as did the 218 of Joe Thomas. You got, looking down here, Quinn McLean coming in, Andrew Jones into the pits as well. We're back to we're 24 drivers on the lead lap. Robert White, Aaron Genske, and James Smith, the ones not on the lead lap, looking for some extra help. Certainly Genske was on the lead lap before that big incident, but back out there on the track, and is going to have to look to try and get themselves back up into the mix. And actually, am I be looking at it wrong? It may not be that many on the lap, but either way,
20.
we're gonna get this thing back underway. Yeah, I was looking at it incorrectly there. So yeah, 20 on the lead lap. So a few still need to get back up there, but Jeremy Gill, now your leader, and then you got Joshua King on the outside, as these drivers have been side by side for a lot of this race so far, but now they're gonna be battling for the lead. The 14 is not in the mix, but the 4 gets a big launch here on the restart. Huge restart here for Gill. So much so that the 23 of Matt Ulmer is going to jump on it as well, try and get to the inside of King.
Yeah, 23 getting obviously King getting a giant leap there. Kind of long Geico restart zone. It's and it's farther down the track, so the pace car peels off, and you're in the car for a few seconds before you even think about getting in the restart zone. The 4 held like he's supposed to, group him up, and then when he decided he wanted to go, he went. He was in that restart zone, so good call there. See the 87 Tiffany Ellis getting in the wall just a little bit, but keeping things green and clean here. We're seeing some sparks flying, so should be fine here. 54 of Chris Alley doing a pretty good job, up 9 spots, and obviously they are your biggest mover at this point.
Another one that's been moving up through the field, now into 4th. Haven't talked too much about him, but your points leader, Drafty Beef, 3 wide, looking down on the inside of Matt Ulmer. Now off the corner, is going to get involved in the incident here and gets tagged hard by the 5, who couldn't really go anywhere. somehow it looks like that 2 isn't really damaged that much as hard as he got hit there. But you seen it happen right there. You seen the, I missed who that was actually. I think it was a 23 Matt Ulmer. Yeah, getting sideways, coming off the corner. And, you know, again, it's only been a couple laps since the restart. So maybe the tires not fully up to temp, fully up to pressure. And it's got a little bit loose off of the corner. We'll take a look at here once again. And maybe even a little bit of, you know, aero wash right there when he got close to the 2. But you see him chase up the track here a little bit. And then all of a sudden that back end just starts stepping out on him, maybe going across the seams there, got a little bit loose and came right across the nose of the 2. And I guess maybe I'll take partly blame for that as well, as I was just talking about Drafty Beef, and unfortunately gets involved in this when you see him just sideways. He is doored pretty hard there by the 5. But again, I didn't see much damage to that 2, and maybe the fact that he got hit in between the tires there was actually a heck of a break.
Yeah, it could be the break that he needed not to, I mean, at least get, you know, back in the car and bring it down. Looks like a few drivers in the back, looked like Kelly Ackman was off the track as well, maybe slowing down. So I'll just go back and kind of rewind that, as it didn't really come up. But I think some drivers checking up here as the incident happened. So we'll see what happened to the 19 as well. We'll play. Maybe the 19. Oh, just getting loose, coming off the turn 4 again. So still getting them tires up to speed. Caution's already out there. Everybody should be slowing down. Pryor realizes that, and that's why he decides to take another off track, go do some lawn maintenance there. But comes right up, almost right there in front of the 51. But the 51 slows up, so no harm, no foul, just some trimmings, some grass trimmings.
Either way, it's going to bring us under another caution and give us a chance to maybe bring in our in-race and pre-race reporter here. That's going to be the 218 of Joe Thomas. As Joe, you got that thing just outside the top 10 now. We've seen you moving up through the field a little bit. And even seen you stretch that thing out to just way too many laps. I don't know what kind of fuel saving you were doing, especially running that high line, but you got that thing to run a lot longer than everybody else. And then, of course, you know, the caution came out and equalized just about everybody. But it looks like it's a pretty decent 218 out there, maybe just hanging back a little bit.
Yeah, just running my strategy like I told you in the pre-race, just saving tires, and my rear was still only at 77% on 35 laps, I think it was, and so I'm just sticking to my runs and hoping we have clean races.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like I said, you're just outside the top 10, so you made it through half the field so far here, getting to the restart here. A little past halfway through the race, so plenty of running yet to go. I mean, how is that car handling, on these restarts? It seems like with cold tires, especially on these restarts, it takes maybe 2-3 laps so those tires, especially the rears, kind of really fully get grip. You've seen some guys get a little loose out there.
Yeah, I got a little slidey I got on the gas a little quick one of the last restarts, but saved it. And then you just got to be patient through turn 1 and then a little less patient through turn 3 and 4. And then you're normally good to go.
Well, we'll see if you are good to go here to the end. Hopefully you drivers have a chance to take this thing all the way to the end now, and definitely going to need one more pit stop before that happens. But either way, good luck out there, and see if you can get that thing up in the top 10, top 5 next time we talk to you.
We're going to see.
That is the driver of the 218, Joe Thomas. As we're getting ready to go back to green here, Jeremy Gill, Joshua King on the front row, Tiffany Ellis, Chris Alley, and Jorge Ledesma Jr. for your top 5. Altman, McLean, Higgs, Presley, and Lamphere for your top 10. So Higgs got that 14, moving back up through the field, trying to get back up to his other leaders that he was battling with for most of this race. Pace car is going to make that left-hand turn down into pit lane. It's back in control by Gill. We'll see if he gets another amazing start on that inside as we are back to racing here at Michigan. And yeah, I don't know what Joshua King is doing on that outside there, but he's got caught napping a couple times now, as now Tiffany Ellis is even going to clear by turn number 1 and move into second place. But we're going to have a quick here. It looks like Shane King was one of them involved in this incident, and we'll go back and see what brought this one out.
little three wide action there. You can see the 60 and the 19 getting together. So 60 goes for a spin, and everybody kind of lets up on their on the throttles just a little bit, and a little bump there by 19, but able to hold it down towards the bottom of the track, allowing all the other drivers to go around. So just a little spinning action there for the 60s, making things a lot. Making my decision to come as a driver. If I'm a driver out there, you know, what do you want to do? You're at lap about 50. You know, you got to get back out here, and you know, we just talked to Joe Thomas. He was just out there for 35 laps. If you want to come in and top off, get yourself some fresh tires, or do you want to stay out there? I mean, right now we're kind of in that window where cautions are breeding cautions, but the drivers, are they going to have enough fuel to make it the rest of the way? And do you want new tires right now? So I don't know. It's a thought. I know it'd be going through my mind right now, especially with some of these drivers being out there since lap 33, even 31, staying out there. And now you see some of these drivers maybe that were on lap 40, maybe thinking about staying out. But some of them drivers towards the end, you know, lap 45, obviously they're one lap down, so they got to, you know, make up a lap. So I see a one taker there. I see McLean on number 21. He thought about it. He's down in pit lane. So somebody's thinking what I'm thinking, and maybe not a bad deal here for number 21.
And honestly, Jimmy, I'm right on board with you. I'm really surprised that McLean is the only one we see down here in pit lane. I mean, I know this is, you know, again, a league that's more geared towards the newer type of drivers here, and maybe a little bit newer to the strategy here. But 35 laps is gonna be a little bit of a stretch here, but not certainly out of the stretch of imagination to make it all the way to the end of the race from here. I mean, if you come in here, if you're in 15th on back. Heck, if you're even outside the top 10, you know, just in 11th there, you come in here, you take 4 fresh tires. I'm sure you still got at least 1 or 2 sets still in the pits if it ends up, you know, still coming out to cautions. Yeah, you're going to give up some track position, but you're going to have fresher tires than everybody else in the field. You're going to have maybe enough fuel to make it all the way to the end if this thing goes green all the way. You just got to hang back and really just fuel save for most of the race, get behind some other cars, draft a little bit. You could be sitting pretty, but surprisingly, we only see Quinn McLean in there. Looks like Ryan Perone in the pits, but not on the lead lap for the 50. But yeah, this is kind of shocking here. And actually, I think Quinn McLean is not on. Is Quinn McLean on the lead lap? But yeah, it's just they're so far behind right now.
Yeah,
that's right.
McLean and Perone. Perone was the lucky dog. So getting back, getting. I mean, this is a place to be. Obviously, want to get things going here. Still under caution. He was able to make it around, get in the pits, and get out. So a good pit stop there for the 50, and in a you know, a good position like we were talking about, coming in. I mean, right now, even if he stayed out and a couple cautions, you know, maybe work his way up through the field, as some people are like, oh, let me go in and get enough fuel. But that's already done, especially if it's a caution after caution. You're not going to put much wear and tear in your tires, so you still should be good. But right now, I mean, coming in here at lap 49, the drivers that are out there on 33, that's a huge difference. I mean, 17 laps, and I know a majority, about half of them were under caution, but it's going to stir things up just a little bit, you know, and it could net you a lot better finish. But right now, trying to get that good finish and maybe eat my words a little bit. The number 4, Jeremy Gill, out there leading the way over Tiffany Ellis and Joshua King for your top 3. Then Jorge Ledesma up there in 4th, Chris Alley in 5th. So good run for those drivers so far. Give it to Chris Alley, up 10 spots, number 54 after kind of being involved in an earlier incident. And then back there, also drivers up a few spots are Ingrace Reporter up 13 spots in P10. Dan Lampier up 10 spots in 11th. And Kelly Akron in the 19 having some troubles a little bit earlier, also up 11 spots in P number 15. So mid-pack battlefield engaged. Let's go see how things make out here, but we're going to go jump up front, and Gill continues to get massive jumps as they're 3 wide going down to turn number 1 in the 44.
Yeah, the 44 Jorge Ledesma looking to get up there. This was the best we've seen Tiffany Ellis here tonight, but unfortunately not getting a good restart, and maybe it's just Gil getting a good restart, and now putting a little bit of blocking moves there on the 17 down the backstretch, as now King going to send it into the corner side by side. Real close battling here for first, 3 wide for third, 2 wide right behind them. They realize there's still over 30 laps here to go, and at Michigan, I mean, you're looking over 60 miles yet to go in this race, but I think these couple cautions in a row here are starting to get these drivers a little bit itchy.
I mean, yeah, because, I mean, wide again.
Yeah.
Hold your breath, not your brakes.
Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. You were saying, Jimmy?
Timothy Presley making some moves, making his way up front, and up here now at P number 5, almost back to where he was starting. So Higgs trying to. Oh! Hold on! He's got it. Woo! Nice save by the 1.
All right, I think on that note right there, just to save us a little bit, I think it's time, Jimmy, we need to send it over here to the sights and sounds here of Michigan, and these drivers out here absolutely doing some crazy driving and some crazy saves, and give everyone out there in CRN Nation a little love to hear it.
Would love to hear it. Coming up. sights and sounds at Michigan come to an end as the 14 of Rob Higgs meets his maker. We'll go back, you know, maybe not the maker, but the maker of the track here, Mr. Concrete. We'll go back here and see what happened to the 14. Is really heavy racing up here in the top 4. So right here coming out of turn number 3 in through 4, you see the 14 getting a run. Looks to the inside of the 44. It's all good right there.
And you can see already it seems like that the back end wants to step out, and it is already kind of stepping out there as looks to try and save it as he comes. Actually, it looks like it's still turning down there pretty good. It seems like that back end is stepping out there.
There's a 44 sliding now. Yeah.
44 actually comes down and hooks him.
Yeah.
And you see just hard impact into the outside wall. But yeah, both the 44 and the 14 look like the back end stepping out. Maybe the 44 a little bit more, and that's why he shot down the track so quickly. Yeah. But it was the 14 shooting up the track so quickly that absolutely destroyed it. Not sure if that 44, I know it was the 14 blowing the engine. I thought that the 14 or the 44 might have done it as well, but tough luck here for your pole sitter and the driver that led most of the first half of this race. As 14, you see right there that front right is not exactly in the. I guess it's still technically in the wheel well, but wasn't attached to the to anything anymore. And you see it now in the pits as, unfortunately, Rob Higgs Jr. had to tow it back into pit lane.
That car's going to bring us around, Carl. That's no fast repair. You might not have clicked.
Unless it's still being towed back to pit lane.
Maybe.
I don't know if it still moves around at that point, but this will give a chance for all these drivers to come into pit lane and make their final pit stop of the race, except for these two right here. We talked about it at the last caution, and now Quinn McLean, Ryan Perrone Sr. are 1 and 2. Now, granted, they got some older tires than everybody else. They got about 11 lap older tires than the rest of the field now, but they play the pit strategy here, move themselves all the way up to the front, and we'll see if it pays dividends here. But they're going to have to get a good restart. They're going to have to try and get maybe a little bit of help here throughout the rest of the race, because they're eventually going to fall back through the field with those older tires, but you never know. We'll see what happens here as the pace car lights are out. It's going to be Quinn McLean in the 21 leading us back to the restart. And kind of funny, both these drivers, you know, they were Perrone and Perrone just got the lucky dog on the last caution, and McLean was right back there and last as well. So now they find themselves completely opposite end of the spectrum at the front of this field and in control of this restart.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, you know, obviously a few drivers took, I don't know if they were listening or they were just thinking what me and Carl were thinking about. You know, if this thing would have gone green, they would have been sitting extremely pretty. Now they're sitting in a very tight spot, and hopefully they can, they didn't wear and tear and beat up their tires too much where they can still get a good run with their car. But, you know, Carl, a lot of these drivers, they're out here in brand new tires. They're cold. So who knows what's going to happen behind them. So this might not be too bad of a call for them yet, just yet, as a lot of those drivers need to get their tires warmed up in order to get going here at Michigan. Right now we're through turns number 3, heading into 4, getting ready to drop off that pace car and head down the start finish line.
And keep your eyes at the front here, because I have a feeling it's going to go at least 3 wide, maybe 4 or 5 wide going into the corner here, as it's starting to get a little later in the evening here, as it is going to be in control here by the 21. See if he can get as good a jump as the 4 has gotten. And well, you see Gil, he knows how to get through those lower gears very quickly. Already looking to the inside of Quinn McLean, heading off into turn number 1. And the 4 back to the lead. You see the 17 already following 2 by 2 behind them. A couple drivers looking to go 3 wide. The 1 up in the outside wall. But behind them, there is going to be a caution. Did not see who was involved. Looks like maybe Daniel Lamphere might have been involved in this one. As we'll take a look back.
See what happened here with the 151. As it looks like he gets a little assist there by the 41. So the rear end's going to break. It was a the 41 gets back into the 151. Those two will go down to the inside. The 41 then goes up into the 69. 69. Ooh, they just clipped a 57. Trying to see.
Pretty sure that 69 blew the engine there as Drafty Beef sneaks on
Oh,
by.
no,
The
not
9
the 19.
gets
60.
on by the 60, gets brushed hard enough to cause some damage and make it on through. But then on the backstretch there, you see, looks like the 57 may have gotten into the 2
Mm-hmm.
and sliding a little bit sideways here. So it's going to involve some of the heavy hitters here in the league, and even your points leader coming in as Drafty Beef not exactly having a good night here in the 2. We'll see what can happen for the rest of this race. Still plenty of time left to go. Still a little bit over 20 laps left in this race, but you're going to bring us under another caution. Now you got to wonder, I mean, you know, Quinn McLean, Ryan Perone had a chance to drive for a corner, and realizing, you know, how much those older tires mean right now. I mean, they're already back in 4th and 6th respectively. Would not be surprised if we see both of them come in. Looks like 21 is going to stay out, but the 50, I mean, knows a little bit better, and Ryan Perone Sr. going to come in, maybe get some new tires on that car.
He said that was enough. I tried.
I don't
Nope.
blame him for this at all.
Nope. Sorry, boss. Give me some new tires. Yep, there it goes. Right side going up. So put some new Goodyears on that machine, and I think that's a smart call, Carl. Still not going to be too bad. There's 21 laps to go here. There's plenty of racing and plenty of time to maybe get a few spots back. So we'll go ahead. I'll bring up the tower so you can see how many drivers are still up on the lead lap. So we're back up to 23 drivers on the lead lap now. We were as far down as I think 20. So we got a few cautions, and we got a few of our drivers back on the lead lap, getting that lucky dog. That much needed stuff. A few of our heavy hitters in there. You can see Smith and Higgs, 3 and 4 laps down. So and we have White, Genski, and the 70 King out for the evening. So, but right now it is Jeremy Gill up front, trying to make me eat my words, I guess. And then Joshua King is sitting there in P number 2, Tiffany Ellis in 3rd. Look at that. Quinn McLean in number 21, up 18 spots.
And the question is, how long can he hold on with those used tires up there? But pretty interesting to see, you know, what this track is doing. Typically, Michigan kind of favors your quote unquote better drivers out here in the field. But you look at the point standings. Drafty Beef comes in as the points leader, and he is back there in 23rd. The 3 of Andrew Jones just got the lucky dog, so he's actually going to be lining up behind him. So he's back there in the 20s. 3rd place in the points, Jeremy Gill has been leading, and Joshua King has been up there as well. So a bit of a mixed bag for your top 5 in the points, as Matt Ulmer kind of smack dab in the middle right now in 14th position. So some good drives, some bad drives from your top 5 in the points, but we'll see who's got the drive to finish this thing out and grab the win here tonight. Again, Jeremy Gill already has a win. Joshua King does not. Looking for his first win on the season, and I thought it might have been in the cards at Dover. Had a good car there, but not to be. So we'll see if tonight is the night to get that 17 to victory lane. I want to thank our sponsor here once again, Joe Thomas and pinupsforvets.com for the season sponsorship, and then also for Joe Thomas sponsoring tonight's race at the beautiful Michigan International Speedway, as we've seen a good one so far. Hopefully they can finish this thing out and make it a good one for everybody out there in CRN Nation. But it is time to get back to green. We've got less than 20 laps to go now. Out front, Jeremy Gill. Certainly don't have to worry about him getting a good start, I don't think, as he's pretty much got this thing down pat. I mean, this thing is a rocket ship on those low gears, getting up through there, and you see Tiffany Ellis already tucking up nice and close, wanting to get that good restart with Gill. Head to the Geico restart zone, and again the 4 shot out like a cannon. You see the 17 hanging with a little bit better this time. Ellis gonna hang with King side by side into turn number 1. And Ellis is gonna clear, moving to 2nd place. Looked like King was thinking about going for the crossover, might still be thinking about it on the exit of the corner. Chris Alley in fourth, Jorge Ledesma in fifth. All chasing that four for the time being. Ellis gets a heck of a run off the corner, and Ellis going to try and put that 87 to the front. Still not clear. Gill fighting back on the outside. You see a little bit of cold tires going through the corner for all these cars. 17 had to chase up there. The 4 certainly had to chase it up there. Now it's almost 3 wide, and is 3 wide across the line for second, as a 54 of Alley looking to get up here in the mix. Started back there in 15th position and now battling inside the top 5, but King is going to get away with second. Ellis to third, but now King rides the hot hand all the way through the corner. I think the 4 had some trouble in 1 and 2 because going to lose not 1 but 2 positions here, as Ellis to the high side trying to get into second.
Yeah, that 17 come off that corner with one heck of a run and was able to get by. I don't think the 4 is expecting them to be there so fast, and they almost got together. 17 was at the verge of possibly losing the rear, but it was able to catch it, able to capture the lead away from Gill. A little bit of battling going on back behind there with the 5 and the 40. Well, Jorge is up in the wall there as it slows him down. Then back up front here, just trying to watch where these battles are at. The 1 of Timothy Presley trying to push forward here, trying to get a little pressure on the 87. That does look like that was old.
We had an issue for Daniel Lampier, one of the guys that was our biggest mover of the race earlier. Had the issue earlier, and now looks like crashed again and towed it back to pit lane, so no caution out here. We'll keep this thing green as we start lap number 70 here, and Joshua King, your new leader, out front looking for his first win on the season. Jeremy Gill in second. Tiffany Ellis also looking for first win on the season, as again through the first 5 races of the season, no repeat winners. Actually, sorry, 4 races here on the season, but we've got an issue. We've seen some cars going through the grass sideways still on the backstretch. Looks like Bryson Anderson, one of them, have always seen Drafty Beef down there off the track. Not sure what started this one. We're going to have to take a look back and see. But this one was definitely high speed. Oh, right there, the 9 coming down and hooking the 7 on the backstretch.
I already see somebody down on the inside. Oh, but I think this is where the big one came.
Rob Higgs right there getting involved, and the pulse hitter here tonight just cannot catch a break here.
Drafty
Big
Beef.
impact there from Drafty Beef. And if he hasn't used his second faster bear, he's going to need to on this one. And again, it's amazing for how hard he hit the 7. The 2 lost a hood, looks completely damaged. The 7, barely anything, barely a scratch on that thing. It's just, I guess, where and how you hit the cars, but certainly a few going to have to get it back to pit lane. 9 is looking a lot worse for wear as well. And I guess the other side of the 7 looks a little bit damaged there, but it's going to bring us under another caution here. It's starting to get a little later in the tooth here, or a little longer in the tooth, later in the race. Under 15 laps to go now. The 17 out front. But even though he's the control car, can he get a better jump than the 4 of Jeremy Gill here on the restart?
I mean, he has to wait for him. So I think if he doesn't get a better jump, it'll be like a tie jump kind of thing. But the 17 was really working that outside, so it really depends on where the 17 wants to get their run. More likely he'll start down at the bottom here at Michigan, as they got some time to get down into the corner. So, but right now it is Joshua King up front with Jeremy Gill. Tiffany Ellis finds themselves in P number 3. Timothy Presley's in 4th. Dylan Jacobs in 5th. Chris Alley in 6th. Robert Altman in 7th. Jorge Ledesma back there in 8th. Joe Thomas is now up in 9th. Matt Ulmer will be your top 10. And then just kind of run down through the rest of the field here. Shane King, Tristan Miner with some major moves here tonight and making his way up to P number 12. So good job there for the 22. Brian Perrone in the 50 car up to P number 13, up 12 spots as well. Matt Bryant in 14th. Kelly Akrons in 15th. And Andrew Jones, Thomas Osborne, Sean McLean, Quinn McLean, and James Smith for your top 20. Bryson Anderson, Drafty Beef, Rob Higg Jr., Daniel Lampier, Steve Harrison, Robert White, Aaron Genske, and Don King for your 28 car field. But back to you, Carl.
Yeah, we're going to get this thing back underway. Should be getting the 1 to go this time by. And again, we're getting close to the last 10 laps of this race. And you thought it was a little bit sketchy and racy before. It's about to get ramped up just a little bit more. And we'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight, who can get it done. If it's going to be Joshua King at the front, going to be the control car here on the restart. Jeremy Gill has been getting ridiculous restarts all night long. Tiffany Ellis has not been any slouch as well, sticking with this group all night long, but in that top 5. Timothy Presley, the one, certainly has had his fun. We'll just say fun tonight here, and it's certainly on these restarts, getting those tires back up to temperature. We've seen that one wicked sideways a couple times and chasing it up towards the wall. We'll see if he can get it under control on this restart. Dylan Jacobs rounding out your top 5. Chris Alley as Timothy Presley dropping down the order. Not sure what happened there. Maybe just blinking out.
Right.
But Chris Alley, Robert Altman, Jorge Ledesma Jr., Joe Thomas, and Matt Ulmer for your top 10. So finally, that 218 has moved himself into the top 10. We'll see if he's got what it takes to get to the end. We'll keep an eye on some of those cars towards the back. Quinn McLean finally coming in and taking a pit stop there, getting those fresh tires. We'll see if the 21 can make their way up through this field before the night is over. But it's been a good one out there so far. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because these drivers in this league certainly deserves it. It doesn't cost anything, and it just helps get this video out there in the YouTube algorithm, maybe a little bit higher for anyone out there searching for some great racing here at Michigan International Speedway. As the pace car pulls down into pit lane, it's going to be in control here by the 17 of Joshua King, heading back to the restart zone. And back on the loud pedal, we are racing again here at Michigan. Maybe a little bit of a slide there from the 4 as not getting a good restart on the outside. Going to hold on to second. Tiffany Ellis sliding her way back up there into third, looking briefly to the inside, but on the outside, keep an eye on that one of Timothy Presley, at least the backside of that one, see if he can keep it under control here on the restart. Maybe a little bobble off the corner there on the backstretch, but looks like everyone holding serve, sliding back into single file. Certainly a little bit of a hornet's nest back here in the back of the field, searching around for any kind of room. And you know that 14 is itching to get his way back up to the front. Your pole sitter here tonight has not enjoyed a good second half of this race, but still plenty of time to at least get a good finish as we're getting close to 10 laps to go.
Okay, Higgs being down four laps, so a little too much to overcome with the amount of laps remaining here, but battle continues up front between the leaders. You have in first, we have the 17 of Joshua King. Jeremy Gill trying to get it done, been leading a lot of this race, but now finds himself chasing the 17, dealing with dirty air. The 1 of Timothy Presley working that outside, trying to keep it under control, getting some major speed, but can he keep it off the wall and use that high side to his advantage? He's getting very, very close, and it takes you get a lot of comfortability and just trusting the tires, and it's hard to do when they're cold.
Haven't seen the likes of the 60 of Shane King too much here tonight. Finally moving himself up into the top 10 here a little bit late. The man behind the curtains here at the Hold Your Brakes Academy, and trying to get himself back up there and get in the mix for the points as well. Kelly Akron looks like might have had a little bit of an issue there in the 19. Drafty Beef in the pits, and looks like going to be a done night for the 2. Unfortunately, your points leader not going to have a fun time here at Michigan, as you see that drivers still switching around and sliding around all over the place. And I know you mentioned the 14 is down several laps, but it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't for the 14. If he can race his way back up here and get in the mix and kind of pretend like he's fighting for the win here of this race, it makes you feel like, okay, yeah, I did have the good enough car. But then you look back and like, damn it, I had a good enough car and I can't do anything with it. So either way, it sucks to be in that position. But riding on board here with Tiffany Ellis, and she's done a fantastic job here tonight. Hopefully can salvage this thing come home with a top 5, dropping back a little bit from the top 3 right now as they're getting plenty racy. That 4 trying to be about 6 cars wide, trying to keep Timothy Presley back behind. But then he got Joshua King right there, ready to pounce as well. Almost a run for the 1 there, but the 4 blocks the move, and now down the backstretch they're snaking in front of the Viper, but unfortunately we got another caution here. Robert Altman involved in this one, under 10 laps to go. This is going to get us real close to the end, and involving the 218 as well of Joe Thomas. We'll take a look back and rewind this a little bit and see what exactly happened, but that was a pretty big impact there for the 94. And you see maybe the 218 coming up off the corner a little bit, the 94 just kind of holding a low line off the corner.
Yeah,
and
he was holding that, and it looked like his rear was kind of breaking loose on him. But right there in front of the pole sitter.
14. Wow. I think riding on board with the 14 under that incident may not be a bad camera angle, and we'll try and watch that thing one more time. But this was just a big impact here for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 94, and gonna possibly be the end of the night here for Robert Altman, having to tow it back to pit lane. But here you ride on board with the 14 of Rob Higgs, and just a little close for comfort for me.
Yeah, too close for me, as obviously Rob just having hands full here tonight towards the end of this race, and had such a good car to possibly even come away, a win. Was up there battling with a lot of these drivers that are up here now. I think riding on board with Tiffany Ellis here, they have probably the best view in the house. That's the battle that's going on. They've kept themselves in a position to possibly walk away with a podium and maybe even sneak away with a win. They definitely had the speed all night. They've been there all night, and it's just picking and choosing the battle. And I think they know that there's a few laps to go, and they don't want to be involved or wrapped up into what's going on in front of them right at the moment. I'd have to say maybe see that 87 possibly getting involved here with maybe three laps to go, Carl.
We're going to see what is going to transpire here, and we do like to give some shout outs if we do notice some of the drivers out there, if they have their own streams. I know Tiffany Ellis, apparently known as Dirt. That's what she says. They call me Dirt for our YouTube page here, and certainly check out @DirtSlinger_88 to check out what Tiffany Ellis is doing from week to week, and looks like maybe even some in real life racing, dirt racing, which that's what I hold near and dear to my heart. I know we broadcast pretty much everything asphalt here, whether it's the oval side here on Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we got some road races. But I mean, in real life, there's nothing better for me than going to do a dirt track Saturday night or even on a Friday night and just sitting back, having a few cold ones, and just watching cars going to the corners at speeds they shouldn't, just turning left, kicking that thing sideways, and somehow making it through the corners. Especially going out and going out to Williams Grove is probably the closest decent World of Outlaws track that I have close to me, even though it's about 2 hours away from me. But I mean, it's amazing seeing a 410 sprint car go 125 miles an hour and then just turn left in a corner and go through that corner at 100 miles an hour on dirt. I mean, it's just the cojones they have on them. But I digress. We got 5 laps to go here at Michigan. This thing is just about done and dusted, but I don't think we have our winner picked out just yet. I'm wondering who out there at CRN Nation thinks is going to take this thing home. I know we got some fans of the 22 out there. We got some fans of the 1, the 41. I mean, it's just about anybody's race, I think, yet. I mean, this thing is far from over. We've seen Jeremy Gill Joshua King, Timothy Presley, Tiffany Ellis, pretty much up there all night. Unfortunately, the 14, your pole sitter was up there most of the night until the second half of the race came and just went downhill for him. But we've seen some close, tight battling, some blocking, some rough racing. I don't think anyone in this top 5 is safe from anything that can happen to the end of this thing. 4 laps to go at the line. The 4 is out front, looking to become the first two-time winner here on the season. Back to the restart zone. No problems for the 4 on these restarts. Back on the loud pedal here once again. 4 to go here at Michigan.
Yeah, nice start by the 4. Obviously, you know, being the control car, you have the, I guess, element of a little bit of surprise and when to go. And obviously, it was able to kind of get out to the lead there. The 1 of Timothy Presley runs that high line anyways, so I'm not surprised to see him just stay out there and try to make it work here. But putting a lot of pressure on the 4 of Jeremy Gill, trying to get about 3 wide behind him. Look at the 5. We haven't talked about Dylan Jacobs very much here tonight, but pushing it 3 wide with the 17 and the 87.
Battle for the lead. The 1 of Presley finally gets a good enough run and close to contact down the front stretch. 3 to go. And certainly mixing it up here at the front. Hard to block if you're side by side. And the 1 now takes the lead from the 4. We head down the backstretch. Big move there from the 5 into the wall. And it looks like
He saved that.
Dylan Jacobs going to survive that one. I mean, he flatted against the wall, so maybe it's not damaged too much, but side by side now with Ulmer heading into turn number 3. The 1 riding that high line. The 4 down on the bottom, trying to get a run, just not clear, but the side draft going to hold that 1 up at the top, and the 4 going to really try and pinch him going up into the corner. 2 laps to go, as we're 4 miles away from a winner, and I still don't know who it is. Tiffany Ellis back up here in the mix as well, looking to maybe thread the needle. I'm not sure if I want to get in the mix between this 1 and 4 right now. I think I'll just let them wreck each other and come to the line wherever it may be. The 17 falling back here a little bit, but now Ellis closes in on the back through turns 3 and 4 one more time. The white flag will be out this time by the 1 on the high side, the 4 down below. 87 contemplating which way do I go. White flag in the air. 2 more miles here at Michigan. I know we've had a few cautions throughout the night, but this is what we've been waiting for right here. It is 1 more lap to go. It's crazy driving here, still side by side. The 1 riding that high line, the 4 down below, gonna clear just barely onto the back stretch. Gonna slide up inside there. The 87 gets into the 1. The 1 pushing the 4. How about Ellis down to the bottom? Gets cut off into turns 3 and 4. Now the 17 up high. The 1 with a bit of a slide job through the corner. Ellis saves it on the bottom. The 1 of Presley gonna go on for the win. Side by side drag race to the line. And Jeremy Gill is gonna finish 3rd because Joshua King gets it done here for 2nd. Tiffany Ellis up here in 4th, and Dylan Jacobs in 5th. Sierra Nation, do you understand now why we love Michigan so much? Can you understand the enjoyment, the pleasure that I have of calling a Michigan race? Can we please find a league out there that is willing to run Michigan and Auto Club just every single week? Hell, I may do it for free. I mean, it is just so fun out here every time, Jimmy.
It every single time, and it doesn't fail that Michigan puts on a almost photo finish. Something's going on, something's gonna happen, you know, whether it's a late caution that brings them together, whatever it may be. But you're seeing the talent that a lot of these drivers are starting to acquire from racing with each other week in and week out to just put on a great finish. Good win there by the number 1 of Timothy Presley. And then Joshua King sliding in there for P number 2. And 1 kind of gets away from Jeremy Gill, but was really pushing that 4 hard here tonight to try to get that win. Tiffany Ellis will come in 4th, and Dylan Jacobs for your top 5.
Yeah, we'll get our top 3 here in a moment. And I think we're going to bring in our biggest mover of the race as well, as Tristan Miner coming through there in the end, finishing up there in the top 10, finishing up 15 spots in ninth place. So we'll try and grab our top 3 and Tristan Miner as well. But man, heck of a run, heck of a finish from all these drivers out here. They left no stone unturned, especially at the end here. How we didn't go to a green-white checkered at the end here with all this bumping and battling and side by side and cars bouncing off the walls, bouncing off each other, trying to stick noses in there. It's fantastic driving. I know, again, this league is more kind of towards the newer drivers and the less experienced drivers, but I'll be damned if we didn't see some crazy driving and some crazy saves there in the last couple laps. And we'll show you the final lap here once again. As I can't get enough of it myself, but you see at the line, the one with a slight edge, but it all changed through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, it all changed. Obviously, the cars trying to, each driver trying to get what they could out of the car. You could see the 17 in that 4th position. Kind of the catbird seat and nose. You see the 1 and the 87 tagging each other. The 1 gives the 4 a bump, looks down to the inside so he doesn't get pushed through the wall, takes advantage, but the 1 and 4 get together, get sideways a little bit. The 17 takes advantage of the slowdown and the scrubbing of the tires. Nice dive down in between the 87 and 4 to pull away a P number 2. So just really, really great racing here for those 4 drivers here right to the end. And any one of these 4 drivers that are on screen right now could have won. And they had the opportunity. It's just playing chess. And the 1 of Timothy Presley, checkmate tonight.
I think this may have been more Battleship or Risk or something. I mean, they were going for damage out here. They had the Dungeons and Dragons, whatever you want to throw in there. They were throwing haymakers at the end here, trying to get this thing done. But yes, we can go with chess. I know it's a mental battle with chess. And there's certainly some mental battles going on here tonight. Well, we got our interview drivers in here, and we'll go ahead and start with 3rd place. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our 3rd place finisher here tonight? It's going to be the 4 of Jeremy Gill.
Hey, Jeremy, Jimmy, and Carl, open the boot to Cappy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it was we're doing good. I mean, just trying to figure out who was giving you the throttle inputs here for tonight. As you felt a little short coming out of turn number 4. Getting that thing and coming home here in P number 3. No, I'm just joshing with you, man. Just a lot of great racing here from out of the 4 here tonight. And it was just, me and Carl praise Michigan on how well that, the races are here with pretty much every league that we get to. And one, we just want to say congratulations on that 3rd place finish and kind of give us a rundown on how your race was here tonight.
Very conservative. Michigan's all about controlling your tires coming out of the corner. Well, that's it. The first long run we had, sorry, my heart's racing, so I'm kind of tongue-tied, but the first long run we had, I ended up burning up the right rear. So from here on out, I decided to just play it conservative and back up the corners, lift early, and it played out. I know there were several people driving it in deep, and I was watching them, and it worked to our advantage.
Yeah, it's I think the tires play a bigger game or bigger thought process here than a lot of drivers will assume. And I think a lot of times when you get into leagues that can stay out for a long period of time, because if you can take care of your tires, you can get a 2-tire pit stop to work to your advantage. And it's not much different as far as times drops off, just taking them right side tires for that last stop. So seen it work a million different ways here. Is like I said, this is our favorite track, and it was good to see the Paint Masters number 4 up front, as much as I was heckling there a little bit over the air. So definitely be a fun rewatch for you. But we want to say wholeheartedly congratulations on that 3rd place finish here, and give you a little time for any shots you might have.
Thank you, bud. Well, I want to thank Sisk Speed Shop for everything they do behind the scenes. Great group of guys. They helped me tremendously. My team, they're amazing, wonderful group of people. And I'd like to shout out Josh. We started iRacing around the same time. We used to race that hard for last place, and to be able to race him that hard up front, it's always special to me. So It was definitely a fun race. Michigan's such a good track, such a wide track, but it is what it is there at the end.
I mean, yeah, a little bit of luck and a little bit of talent, and just who's got it at that exact moment. So, but you walk away to third place, and obviously a good points finish here for you tonight, as some of your competitors had a little bit of issues and a little bit farther back in the field. So hopefully you'll be able to reclaim that points lead as we continue on with the season here. So again, congratulations on your third place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Oh, thank you, buddy. We all have a wonderful night, all right?
You too, bud.
Is your third place finisher here tonight, the 4 of Jeremy Gill. Second place, and it took all the way until the line, but the 17 of Joshua King getting it done here tonight, finishing in second place. And Joshua, I guess I'll just kind of turn the mic over to you and let you just describe of how your race was here tonight. It wasn't exactly dull. We'll put it that way.
No, it was, I was just saying, actually, when you grabbed me, that it was some of the best racing we've had. It was extremely exciting. Car was loose, but obviously really fast. Me rating on long, so cool to see some new faces get up there up front and battle hard. Jeremy Gill, Rob Higgs, for the longest time, just the back and forth battles. Absolute blast. Probably the cleanest race we've had as far as me this season so far. I've always put it up front, and then I find myself in the back at some point in time and battling back. And tonight that was a little less stress. The fact that I was just able to execute on pits and keep her up front. But I thought when that last caution came out, I fell to fourth, as you guys probably saw, and then there was some tangling there around the final couple corners, but managed to take advantage of it and get a P2. We're going the right direction. We got 2 P3s this season, and now we got her up into second. So our first win could still come. We'll see.
Trending, at least trending in the right direction. But I mean, what's going through your head? You're coming to the white flag, and obviously you had the late caution, but you had enough laps to kind of warm up those tires a little bit to kind of go at it those last couple laps. But you come into the white flag and you're staring up there at the 1 and the 4 side by side. Did you think that you had any shot at the win at that point? Or were you thinking, just why don't you guys mix it up a little bit and I'll just go ahead and cruise right on by you?
To be honest, I thought at that point I was fourth because Tiffany had gotten by me, and then, the 1 and the 4 were side by side, and I was perfectly fine with fourth. I had really good restart speed after I got up to speed, that is, all night long until, of course, the final restart. So bad timing on that, but
of course.
Then again, I knew Timothy would be aggressive. He is aggressive, sometimes not always in the best ways. It's unfortunate that it kind of had to come down to the way it did. He was forcing his way in spots he shouldn't. And I don't know the situation with Jeremy there on the last lap. I just know I was able to avoid both of them and get by for second place. But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm sweating. Really, really fun race.
I'm sure all of you are out here after this one. We were damn near sweating up here in the booth watching this, but we're fanboys of Michigan and auto for sure. We just love the race that it puts on. You guys put on a heck of a show here tonight. So congrats on the second place. Still trending in the right direction with that 17. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do we give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my mom and grandmother for always watching. It's pretty cool that they support me. Not everyone does, or anything like that, and then shout out to you guys with the great broadcast. Glad we could put on a good show for you. And then Royalty Motorsports, another good run for some of us guys. 3 in the top 10, so that's nice. SM Racing Products, Majestic Promotional Branded Apparel, and Drafty Beef for the paint, and pinups for Vets, and Joe Thomas for them coming on this season, allowing us to do what we do and have a quality broadcast while we do it.
I know we got Don King and we got Shane King in for Saturday for the CRN Cup. Will we see the 17 out there as well?
Unfortunately, no, man. We're on the same team, and it's pure coincidence. We all have the same last name. Don and Shane are related. I am not. So it's my mother's birthday on Saturday. She supports me, but we're not going to cross that line. So I would love to be there, but yeah, priorities for sure, man.
What better person that'll win on your mom's birthday, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get it. Totally understand. Well, anyway, congrats on the second place here tonight. We'll see if you can keep that trend going in the right direction next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Nice chatting with you as always.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 17 of Joshua King. Top spot here tonight, and they had to work to get it done, but it's the one of Timothy Presley.
Hey, Tim, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Hey, one heck of a race here tonight. The one all over the place here and there. I think you had your hands full. I think what it says it best on the side of your car: checkers, wreckers, and what the heckers. So there's a lot of everything going on tonight with that one. You had your hands full. Seen you obviously finishing in first. So congratulations on the win. But kind of give us a breakdown because you did have a very eventful race.
Oh yeah, it was definitely eventful. Started out, I was really comfortable starting in fourth. Had a couple of internet issues that threw me all the way to the back of the pack, but was able to fight through it. And, I was talking with the guys that finished on the podium. Everybody says that it was a little bit dirty. Was it a little over-aggressive? It was, but, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win races. So I just went for it whenever I saw my opportunity. Washed a little high. I already apologized to Jeremy for getting into him a little bit there, but I just sent it in there, hope it stuck, prayed for the best. Turns out it did, ended up with a win.
Well, I mean, either way, you have to keep your car together to the end to be there. And yeah, I mean, it gets tougher. Sometimes you just gotta, obviously, you feel that heat of the other drivers, and hopefully it ends here as you guys just continue to move forward. Definitely, it's going to make for interesting broadcast. We'll be keeping an eye out for that number one, I'm sure, for the rest of the season as you get your first win underneath on your belt for the season. So, one, we want to say congratulations here from CRN, and definitely, it was a hard battle there, and a little aggressive, man. I don't know. It was a lot of fun to watch. I can say that much. So I'm sure the admins and all the stewards, they can handle it out on your end. But I like the show. The fans like the show, and that's what they're here to see, is a lot of people win. So the one getting it done, you had some people out there giving you a shout out as well. So so again, congratulations from CRN and your fans, and I'll give you a little bit of time for any shouts you may have before we let you out of here.
Thank you so much, and a huge shout out to the Checkers, Wreckers, and What the Heckers crew, Chad, Chris, Rick, all those guys out there that make this possible with the huge sponsorship, W Energy, Premier Racing Setups, MKM Racing Development, everybody that can make this possible.
All right, again, congratulations, man. We hope to see you up here again here shortly. So again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you so much.
That is your winner here tonight. First repeat winner of this one of Timothy Presley, getting it done here very, very late. Love to see last lap passes. But we got one more that we're going to bring in here, and certainly a fan favorite in the chat here tonight. Biggest mover of the race, the hard charger, going to the 22 of Tristan Miner, up 15 spots. So Tristan, got to say, a little sandbag in qualifying. You just hanging back there, or you like passing a lot of cars, or what was the case? Either way, you finish up here in the top 10 here tonight.
To be honest with you, I didn't think I was gonna get up here. It was a lot of just trying to avoid the cautions and everything, and trying to stay out of trouble, and just trying to move up when I can, and not get caught up in all the messes.
Yeah, it was. There was a few that really minced some cars up out there, and it looked like you were able to avoid them for the most part, and keep that UPS number 22 clean. But it wasn't easy out there, and unfortunately for you, you were kind of stuck in what me and Jimmy kind of consider the beehive back there in the back, where it's just a swarm of cars just all over the place. I mean, what kind of nerves does that put on you when you're out here, at 175 miles an hour?
I mean, it'll get you shaking because, You just too worried about not messing up that you'll end up messing up. So you got to really focus on just driving and trying to calm your nerves and just focus on doing what you're supposed to do so you don't mess nobody else up. And then if you do that, I mean, you'll move up eventually.
Well, no Robbie out here tonight, so I'm sure that probably helped you out a little bit. As one less car you had to work with and pass out there as well. I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, they're down in Florida on their anniversary vacation with a couple of my aunts and uncles, and they was watching, so they was cheering me on in the chat and everything. You'll probably go and see all the comments they left and everything.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, exactly, and that's one of the reasons we had to bring you up here, give one of the fan favorites a little bit of time out here. But hey, I mean, you came into the race ahead of Robbie in the points, and you come away with a top 10. Yeah, he may be celebrating his anniversary, but you get to celebrate a top 10. You get to talk to us. I mean, which is really better at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's celebrating too, because I mean, me and him are in this together. So if one of us finishes good, we're both celebrating. So. This ain't a win for just me. This is a win for us.
Well, it was definitely a fun race to watch, and maybe not exactly the race you wanted throughout the entirety of the race. You were up a few spots for most of the race, but you finished where maybe you wanted to be up there in the top 10. So congrats on the run tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Definitely my mom and dad, and probably my girlfriend. She's knocked out over here asleep, but I couldn't do any of this stuff without them, and definitely my dad. He helps me with a lot of this stuff, and I hate he couldn't be here today, but I'm sure he loved this race.
Well, we certainly loved it up here, so congrats again on your top 10. We'll let you go and get out of here. Hopefully we'll talk to you again at some point this season.
Yes, sir.
That is your hard charger here for the evening, up 15 spots after starting back there in 24th, finishing up there in the top 10. Great job for the 22 of Tristan Miner. That is unfortunately going to do it here for us from the Michigan International Speedway. Jimmy, I know we gotta head over to Kentucky for tomorrow night for the core clash, but I think I'm going to get a hotel room here in Michigan and just stay one more night just to enjoy this facility for a little bit more before we have to leave. You're just going to stay here. I'll solo tomorrow night. I understand.
I'm just going to broadcast remotely.
That sounds like a plan. I don't mind that at all. We just got to picture them going around. I mean, it's kind of a D-shaped oval like Kentucky. We can pretend a little bit, but either way, I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe to get you in touch with everything that Siren has to offer. But for myself and Jimmy from the Michigan International Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.